you talk about how in order to succeed, you really do need to follow these 6 steps, not just 2 or 3. But I was also struck by the fact that there was some flexibility within each of the steps. The first one, for instance, you talk about the 3 different styles of really innovating and starting up. And I wonder if you could talk about the differences and flexibilities there.
You know, there were a lot of surprises. There are 6 skills, and they have to all work together. So that's one of the surprises. Is this isn't easy. There is no quick fix. It will take a lot of work, and it takes complexity to get startups right. I truly believe that the creator's code, there's a code, right? There are 6 things. It's like the DNA for an entrepreneur. And after 5 years of research, I'm pretty convinced that these 6 things will make any startup better. So you could go on your own, you could try to, find your way, which is what almost all entrepreneurs do, or you could really learn the lessons of people who've scaled companies over 100 million in revenue. There's the data set criteria. So, the 6 things are essential, and a lot of us naturally do 2 of them or 3 of them. But you have to sort of learn and hone the other skills to have things take off. So the first skill is called find the gap. And that's really about, ways of seeing, ways of discovering, ways of finding a gap, right, that other people haven't already seen. But there's no one way to do it. So my research shows 3 patterns that entrepreneurs tend to follow. One is what I'm calling a sunbird. And the idea is that you could see something in one place and then pick it up and fly it over and apply it somewhere else. So Howard Schultz at Starbucks is a great example. He saw coffee culture in Italy, and then he brought it back to Seattle. I actually grew up in Seattle. It was the grunge scene at the time, and coffee culture and opera music and bow tie clad waiters, which is what he originally started up with, didn't quite work, so he tailored it to Starbucks that we know today. And that's an example of seeing something. See it over here and kind of move it with a twist somewhere else. A second way of finding a gap or spotting an opportunity out of my research would be as an architect. So this is really somebody who sees an open space, right? It's a green space, there's nothing there, unaddressed need, maybe it's an irritation. And so this would be Sarah Blakely at Spanx. And she was a door-to-door fax saleswoman for 7 years before she got the feet out of her nylons and then, made an unbelievably strong company. So she would be an architect of designing something a new way. And then the last pattern I can see in this find the gap skill is as an integrator. So an integrator is somebody who pulls things together, maybe at an intersection or maybe that just haven't come together before. So the Chipotle founder, Steve Ells, is a great example, but he created a new category called fast casual. So Chipotle restaurants are restaurants and they cook food in front of you, but it is a much faster service line model. So, you can create these different intersections. That would be another way to see an opportunity. So there's flexibilities in each one of the skills. And the big key in here is to ask questions. So the research shows that a kindergartner, like age 5, would ask 100 questions a day. And as we age, once you're over 40, you're asking maybe 4 or 5 questions a day. So I think the real way to try to figure out what your natural proclivity would be is to ask a lot of questions, like not be afraid to go out in the world and be really curious and say, hey, do I see something here and could I transport it? Or do I see, a whole unaddressed gap and a need? Or am I really irritated? Is there some bottleneck that I could solve? Or can I just combine things? Why wouldn't I put and mash and smash these things together and come up with something new? But the big key is to keep asking questions, asking yourself questions.